let's start with your concerns, not just about tax inversion, but about what you see as the vital need for tax reform of the corporate tax code. You own Pfizer.
I've owned Pfizer probably longer than any other stock in my portfolio. It is a core holding for me. It's a very well-managed company, and now what's happened in the last 48 hours is a travesty to us as American taxpayers. And I'll tell you why I say that. Instead of fixing the core problem, which is an uncompetitive corporate tax rate, we are the most uncompetitive corporate tax rate in the world today. And so our great companies like Pfizer, which have billions of dollars they want to repatriate to bring back home to America, can't do it. That's problem number one. Number two is they're not competitive. They don't have the same income statement that all their competitors have. So we're at a disadvantage. We can't spend as much as RD because we're paying so much tax. The last administration was focused on the distribution of wealth and health care. That mandate is over. The next administration, man or woman, who's ever running America, must fix our corporate tax rate, or we will fall to the wayside of competitors globally, and Pfizer is a case study. When I teach again, I'm going to use this case study saying, this is how screwed up we are in America. This is how broken we are. Every U.S. taxpayer and citizen and user of Pfizer's products should be outraged today that the Treasury is attacking one of our companies this way. It's so unfair, so broken. It's time to use this test case and focus the light of transparency on it.
It is time, I think, for Congress to get going on this. I mean, that's where it has to take place. I mean, a president can have the bully pulpit, whoever that next president may be. I absolutely agree with you on that. But Congress has to get engaged on this, and they've got to figure it out, because we are hobbling ourselves competitively, as you point out, billions of dollars sitting over, more than $1 trillion sitting overseas, unable to be brought back. It's not right. It's not smart.
I think you brought up a great point, and I think there's a reason that the American and our voting constituency is so frustrated with Washington. Get off your asses and do something. Like, they don't do anything. This is a huge problem, and they haven't done anything for years. And now we can measure the cost to us as a society. We are becoming less competitive. I would love to see it. Maybe the rage that's occurring, why there's a Bernie Sanders, why there's a Donald Trump, is how frustrated we are as voters in how there's been lack of any kind of focus on getting things done. Get this done. Go fix this.
Let's pivot a little bit to another passion of yours, and that, I know, is bonds. You have a lot of bonds. Today, interest rates on the 10-year down about 1.71, 1.72. What do you see happening to interest rates and people who, like you, own a lot of bonds?
You know, I always look at the bonds to tell me what the future looks like, because the smartest money in the room is always on the fixed income side. And the big yin and yang debate that's occurring, particularly this morning on bond desks, is, does this signal a further slowdown in the GDP of our country? That's really the issue going on, because...
You see that?
Well, no. Here's what I say is happening. I have never seen so many negative interest rate environments in other constituencies that are forcing capital home. Take, for example, negative interest rates in Switzerland on the Swiss franc, negative interest rates in Europe. My dad lives in Switzerland. He's my stepfather. In both of his accounts now, he is losing 4% in his cash.
So where does the capital go? It would come here.
He's moving it into two places. If he wants a fixed income mandate, America is where you come, because at least you're making 1.7% on your 10-year. You're not negative yet. If we were to go to negative interest rates, that would be really bad, and I hope we don't.